In 2026, cars look smarter than ever. Giant screens. Artificial intelligence. Over-the-air updates. Electric power. Everything feels futuristic. But something changed, and almost nobody noticed. While we were distracted by bigger displays and self-driving promises, the rules quietly shifted. The way cars are sold. The way features are unlocked. Even the idea of ownership itself. You can pay $40,000 for a brand new vehicle, and still not fully control it. This isn't a conspiracy. It's not a rumor. It's already happening. And if you're planning to buy a car anytime soon, what's coming next might completely change your decision. To be fair, cars in 2026 are incredible machines. They're safer than ever before, packed with driver assist systems that can steer, brake, and even change lanes on their own. Massive curved displays stretch across dashboards. Voice assistants respond instantly. Software updates improve performance overnight without ever visiting a dealership. Even mid-range vehicles now offer features that once belonged only to luxury brands. On the surface, it feels like progress. And in many ways, it is. Accidents are decreasing. Efficiency is improving. Technology is making driving smoother and more comfortable than ever. But progress doesn't always mean control. And convenience doesn't always mean freedom. Because while manufacturers are adding more technology to your car, they're also changing something much deeper, something most drivers never think about until it affects them directly. For decades, buying a basic car was simple. You chose the base model, skipped the extras, and drove away with affordable, reliable transportation. That option is quietly disappearing. In 2026, entry-level models are shrinking or vanishing entirely. Base trims are harder to find. Manual controls are replaced with bundled tech packages that push prices higher. And those starting at prices you see in advertisements? They often refer to versions that barely exist on dealer lots. The average price of a new vehicle has climbed to levels that were once considered luxury territory. For first-time buyers and middle-income families, the gap is growing wider every year. Affordable transportation is no longer the priority. Profit margins are. And when basic mobility becomes expensive, something fundamental shifts, because now the car isn't just a tool for freedom. It becomes a financial commitment that shapes every other decision you make. Here's where things start to feel different. In 2026, some cars come with features already built in: heated seats, remote start, advanced lighting, even performance boosts, but they don't always work unless you pay a monthly fee. The hardware is there. The capability exists. But access is locked behind software. Miss a payment, and certain features can simply switch off. Manufacturers call it flexibility. They say it lowers upfront costs and lets drivers customize their experience. But many buyers are starting to ask a simple question: if the equipment is physically inside the car, why does it feel like renting? You're no longer just purchasing a vehicle. You're entering a service agreement. And once subscriptions become normal, it doesn't stop at heated seats. It expands quietly, feature by feature, until the line between ownership and access begins to blur. In 2026, ownership isn't what it used to be. Cars are controlled by software, and that software is controlled by the manufacturer. Over-the-air updates can change how your vehicle performs, sometimes improving it, other times limiting features. Repairs aren't as simple as swapping parts. Often, you need approval, specialized tools, or authorized technicians. Your car is collecting data constantly, sending it back to the cloud. Every drive, every feature, every preference is monitored. You might think you bought a car, but in reality, you're licensing access to a machine. And if the subscription stops, if the system fails, or if updates are delayed, the power subtly shifts from the driver to the company. In 2026, the real engine isn't under the hood anymore. It's in the cloud, and it decides how much control you actually have. Electric vehicles are being hailed as the future, and on the surface, they seem perfect. Sleek designs, instant torque, zero emissions. Governments push incentives. Manufacturers promise a smooth transition. But the reality is more complicated. Charging stations are still limited, leaving long waits for drivers on busy routes. Battery replacements can cost thousands, and warranties often don't cover long-term degradation. Incentives that made EVs affordable are shrinking, making ownership more expensive than many realize. And while everyone's attention is on electric, hybrid and simple combustion vehicles quietly retain value. The promise of a fully electric future is real, but the practical hurdles are often ignored. For buyers in 2026, excitement can quickly turn into frustration. The future might be electric, but it's far from convenient for everyone right now. While headlines celebrate the latest EV or flashy concept, something quieter is happening in 2026. The real winners aren't always the newest models, they're the hybrids, the reliable used cars, and the vehicles that prioritize simplicity over flashy tech. Manufacturers are shifting their revenue from hardware to software subscriptions, creating an ecosystem you don't fully control. What this means for buyers is simple: the way we think about cars is changing forever. It's no longer just about horsepower, torque, or luxury features, it's about access, control, and who holds the keys to your vehicle. The question isn't what car you'll buy in 2026. It's whether you'll truly own it. And if you ignore this shift, the car you drive might not be yours at all.